Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and in this video I'm going to do my first Ask Me Questions answer video. I posted a video like a week or two ago asking for questions anyone would have related to vocals, guitar, anything, as long as it's relatively appropriate for my channel. You know, it could even be personal or school stuff, whatever you want to ask me, and I'll answer it. And same deal goes for this video. No, this is a response video, but if you want to have a question answered for the next video, just ask the questions in the comments or video response. I mean, you can't do video responses, but leave the link or whatever. I don't know, hashtag question, something like that. No, not hashtag, whatever. I don't know. And then I can search the page. It's not going to be enough people to justify that. Just put the link down there, and I'll respond to your video, or just ask me a question in the text. I'm not going to be putting videos in here because that just takes too much work. I'll just be like watching them and responding. So yeah, audio files help if you want to message me, whatever, and I'll answer them in the next video. So moving on, I'm just going to do the go forward in time. And this is my second time doing it because my phone, I had the app open and it wouldn't load the comments, so I didn't want to edit that video too much. So I'm going to do this in one take if I can. No editing, because that's pain. So first question, I have a question. How do you know if you're hitting a note or not? I try with the piano and I can't really tell if I'm doing it or not. So I mentioned the thing about beats, which is a physics thing, but if I just grab my guitar, just grab my 8-string, if you hear this, two of the same notes, right? Now if I bend them, you hear some dissonance. It almost sounds like a no. And then the further away they get, the bigger the wobble gets until they're just separated enough to not sound as bad, basically. Because this doesn't sound very good, but it doesn't sound as bad as this or this. If I do it with a lower note, you can kind of hear the beats a little more. Or you almost hear like a no. Might be hard for you to hear through the camera, but it's subtle. But that's kind of how you know. You can hear the amount of dissonance in the note. So for example, that's hitting the note. And you can walk around the neck of your keyboard hitting notes like that. But what I do is get a note and try to hit it and go up and down just to hear what it sounds like. So then you find the place in between that's least dissonant. And just do that with a bunch of notes and practice it, and then you should be able to do like you'll eventually be able to move around the fretboard or keyboard, whatever you want to do. Sometimes the first note's hard. And that's what you have to do. And if you're having a real hard time, I would just recommend getting a guitar tuner or some online tuner, GarageBand, anything with a microphone, and hitting the note on your keyboard so you know it's right, and then try to hit it, and you can visually see how far off you are. So, just moving my guitar back, because I think that's the only question that was involved in any kind of other instrument, really. So someone asked about lifting up the soft palate when singing. Now, I definitely do lift up the soft palate when singing. It's just kind of like proper vocal technique. Now, to say also contrary, there are some times where you close it a little bit to make the sound more nasally. Like if I'm doing that whole like Linkin Park thing, like I can't take this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. It just sounds better to make it a little more nasally. And I'll be talking again about that in a little while, but so I changed it around. If I'm going like "Ay!" it's kind of open, but not ridiculously, but "Oh!" that's a little more open. Open soft palate. To resonate the tone more. Now, proper technique will say always try to keep it up, always try to keep your larynx down. But as far as modern techniques and like speech level singing and stuff, and Jamie Van Der and Brett, all these guys have different theories on things. you know, it's good to get more resonance, and it's good to do all these various things, but just get something that sounds good. That's the most important thing. If you sound a great singer nasally, then sing nasally. Same with the contrary. Just, you know, learn how to do it at first, figure it out, see what works for you, and practice that. But as far as proper technique goes, classical vocal lessons will tell you that always keep the soft palate up. Something like that. It does resonate the tone more, so it makes the tone richer. But yeah, I depends on the tone I want to do. So I think you asked, do you keep it at the same throughout your range or a certain spot? So it changes throughout my range. Well, usually because you want the tone to be different in different places, but I don't have to keep changing throughout my range. I can keep it up. You know, it stays up, or you can go you can do a bunch of different things. So going to the next question. I can't sound like Chester Bennington even after seeing a video about it. How can I do it? Sorry for the mistakes, but I'm not English. Now also, there was another person who asked about projecting screams. I remember one of you, I checked out your videos, and one of you was using the Melissa Cross fry scream technique. The whole like, yo, that kind of thing, and then you project it with a microphone. That's a big no-no. You know, no one really uses that scream. No bands use that scream. And you'll find this out just by listening to, I mean, you can't get a good sound using that technique. And Melissa Cross kind of used it as a technique to practice, but not like an in-practice technique. You know, it's kind of like a thing you use as a tool to improve your scream and resonance and all these other stuff. Or as an example, people don't really use it. It's a bad path to go down. So if you're using that scream, I don't remember who it was. It was one of two people I can think of. I'm not gonna like say your name or something, but just learn how to use rasp, and you learn how to do high screams, because doing that whole like yo, I'm bad at it. Like yo, that kind of scream. Big no-no. If you're doing like you want to have like a, you know, your scream should be loud. It should be about as loud as you're singing. So you have like a yo, and that's the scream I do. It starts, you know, if you want to figure it out, try to get that whisper, yo, and get that haze going on by adding more breath pressure. Yo, and then it just projects more as you add more breath pressure. And that's the name of the game right there. So, you asked about sounding like Chester Bennington. So, I would just recommend getting a note, adding rasp to it, and making it nasally. So you get like a hey! And that's kind of his rasp technique. So like, yeah, I can't feel this damage anymore! Don't turn your back on me! I won't be ignored! And then he does the high screams. For his screams, not the fry screams, and he doesn't use the fry screams for rasp either. So I think it was the same person that does the fry scream technique that tried to put notes in the fry scream technique. Shouldn't have eaten dinner before this, but you shouldn't, you know, fry technique's a waste of time, and adding notes with it will sound bad. So like you're like, yeah, I can't take this damage anymore. That's what it would sound like if you did it with the fry scream. Just, you know, maybe you can get it better, but it's never gonna be up to the full level you want it to be. So, you know, it should be loud. It should be thing. Now, so that's really all you do to get the tone. You get a raspy note and resonate it, and, you know, as far as that, he has a lower tone voice, and you just kind of have to make your voice a little nasally and just kind of practice a little bit and try to copy it. Now, on the same note, you can't sound like anyone you want. Like, I could never sound like the guy from Hootie and the Blowfish. I could never sound like the guy from Shinedown. I could never sound like, what's his name? That really awesome singer from American Idol that was really, really flamboyant. I'm sure you know. Either way, whoever it is. There's a lot of pop singers I can just never sound like. It's not my thing. And, you know, there are a lot of limitations. You should be able to get close to most people, but there's some people that you'll just never be able to touch for various reasons. So, moving on, I think that's about as much as I wanted to say on that. So, That also covers the projecting my screams. You know, you want to have breath pressure, so you want to have like a yo! As far as the breath pressure goes, I only have 4 minutes left, so I'm going to be a little quick. You have this stomach diaphragm area, and you want to. It's rock hard when you're doing that. And if it's not rock hard, you're probably not projecting good enough. So you want to make sure that it is. Now, at the same time, you don't want to be pressing too hard, but that's one thing you want to do. So if you're getting that, yeah, if you have the technique right, and you like, again, make sure you're not doing the fry technique. Waste of time. You want to make sure you're doing the high scream technique. Now, a lot of people call it the fry scream. I just call it the high scream to make a distinction between those two types. So you want to make sure you're doing the right technique, and then you want to just add breath pressure. And don't be afraid to hurt yourself. Now, don't be stupid about it. Just make sure that you're pushing hard and going for it, but if it hurts, take a break and try again when you feel better. And then if it gets too bad that day, just take a day off. And then 2 days later, come back and try it again. Just in a few days, you'll figure it out. That's what it took for me. So that's pretty much it for that. And someone said, as far as falsetto range goes, once you learn head voice and falsetto range, it's the same range. Yes. Your falsetto range is your vocal cords are open. So it's like, and then you make it full voice, and the vocal cords closed. So you can transform back and forth, but they resonate in the same place. Therefore, falsetto is head voice, and full voice, head voice is really just what I call head voice. So some singing teachers don't even make a distinction, but they are the same range. In fact, I can probably get higher in full voice, head voice, just because it allows less air to go through. Now, someone asked if they hold out a screen for too long, they get a little dizzy, and they get a massive headache. You might be pressing too hard, which could happen. I've had this happen before, especially after practicing for a while. You'll get a, like, especially if you hold it out for too long. So like a, yeah! That was me just pushing as hard as I can for a little while. And so when you push really hard, and you kind of get that like, so you want to back off a little bit. You know, it takes a lot of practice to get it, but you're probably just pushing too hard. Make sure you're using proper breath support. I uploaded a video last night on exercises for breath support, and that should help a little bit. So I hope that helps. If it doesn't, message me again. I'll try to be more specific, but try backing off in the air pressure and try practicing some breathing exercises, and that should help. Someone asked another question about vocal pressure. Should the diaphragm be rock hard or feeling below the navel or above the navel? When I scream or if I sing hard, it's like, specifically right here, but it's like my entire stomach and even the ribs. It's all rock hard, and that's what you want because it gives you proper breath support. But again, you said it hurts, so maybe you want to back off a little bit and kind of fool around with it just to see what you get. Now, someone asked about growling, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this here, and then I'm going to delete some stuff and restart again and edit it together. So no more one take. It's going to be 2 takes. 1 second.